We have breaking news at this hour. Donald Trump has just made a very suspicious move, and the rest of the world is on edge. Once you see this report, you likely will be as well. Welcome to Occupied Democrats. I'm David Reddish. As we close out the week, the news cycle has been dominated by the ongoing war between Israel and Iran. Israel's attack on the nation and its motives for doing so continue to divide the world, even as most freedom-loving people cheer the elimination of Iran's military chain of command. The attack, however, has come as a major embarrassment to Donald Trump, as he was reportedly not informed of Israel's war plans in advance. After spending months trying to reach a deal with Iran to shutter its development of nuclear weapons, Trump seemed to cheer the attack, demanding Iran's unconditional surrender. Later this week, he clarified his position.
That news, I have a message directly from the president, and I quote, "Based on the fact that there's a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place with Iran in the near future, I will make my decision whether or not to go within the next 2 weeks." That's a quote directly from the president for all of you today. So we'll kick it off for questions here in our new media seat. We have
Why is it always 2 weeks with that man? And why does that do nothing to quell my anxieties? Stay with me. The world's eyes have turned to the U.S. not because it wonders if Trump will broker a deal between the two countries, something he's favored in recent statements. Israel has attacked most of Iran's nuclear facilities, with one notable exception. The enrichment and research facility at Fordo, buried within a mountain, is far enough underground that Israel's weapons cannot reach it. Only one nation has that technology, the United States, which has developed so-called bunker buster bombs. Here's a brief overview. Nobody is really sure if the bunker buster bombs would actually be effective in destroying the facility, since they've never been tested in combat. It's also not clear what Trump or Israel would do in the event of the fail. And now, things are getting very scary very quickly. Earlier this week, Politico reported that despite Trump's 2-week window to decide how to handle the war, administration insiders claimed that Trump would make a move this weekend. Now it looks like it's happening. Earlier today, the New York Times broke the story that the United States is transferring a series of B-2 bombers to the Middle East. Presumably, they are also loaded with the bunker buster bombs needed to destroy Fordo. This comes as Israel launched a wave of airstrikes against missile sites and a nuclear facility in Iran. Israel's military also said that it had sent some 30 fighter jets to strike military infrastructure in the Ahvaz region of southwestern Iran, including sites for missile launchers and radars. That is, according to analysts, the most likely path for delivery of bunker buster bombs to Fordo. Now, keep in mind that it is entirely possible that Trump and the military are transferring the planes as a simple precaution. That happens when military conflicts break out around the world. It's also possible that he wants the Iranians to know he's transferring planes as a means of applying pressure for Iran's surrender. But the fact that Israel is clearing a path for the B-2 bombers suggests there is a high possibility of attack. And that should make every American nervous. Why? Well, consider this. For 40 years, the world has wrung its hands over the idea of a nuclear-armed Iran. And yet, in that time, Iran has never developed the bomb. Other countries have, and with less resources in less time. North Korea, for example, found a way to enrich uranium and build a bomb in a converted swimming pool, for goodness sakes. But Iran hasn't. That could be because the Ayatollah has religious objections to the bomb. It could be because the nation's leadership feared an Israeli-American attack if it developed the bomb, not unlike what we are seeing right now. Or it could be because Iran simply doesn't have the scientific resources to do so. American intelligence experts appear to back up this claim and have reported that Iran does not yet have a nuclear arms capability. And yet Israel still attacked, and Trump is considering joining the fight. Look, the Ayatollah is a monster, but he's not a Bond villain sitting around and trying to figure out how to hold the world hostage. So the idea of the U.S. getting involved in an attack seems unwarranted at this point. But let's assume for a moment that we do. And this really is the scariest question of all. What then? Will American troops hit Iranian soil? Will airstrikes escalate to civilian targets? What's the off-ramp for Israel and Trump in this mess? What happens if the Ayatollah dies and there is no functioning government of Iran? We could be looking at yet another Middle Eastern quagmire, And given that Intelligence Director Tulsi Gabbard and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth are reportedly not involved in planning sessions, this could be even worse than Iraq. We will keep you updated as we learn new information on this critical story. This is Occupy Democrats.